thank you for 600 subscribers. Holy shit, guys. I hit 600 subscribers. Insane. Thank you guys so much. It really means a lot that 600 people are here watching my videos. Well, not quite 600, but I do have 600 subscribers, and that means a lot. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciated greatly. I hope you guys stick around, and if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and join my little space on the internet. Those of you who got your results, I hope that went well, and I hope you got the results you needed. If you didn't, do not stress, because it's not the end of the world. Things will be better. So yeah, I really hope you guys did well. I got my results as well. Anyway, hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, if you haven't already seen, my new film is currently up on my channel. It is the most recent video other than this one. I've worked so hard on it. I've put hundreds of hours into making this film. It is finally up. Do not watch it, because it's terrible. Now, I don't know if this is just me being awfully harsh on myself. I know a lot of people who make stuff do that. You know, I think that is a problem, but I wouldn't really say I've ever really been like that before. But for whatever reason, this film I'm just not happy with, and it sucks because I have, like I said, put a lot of work into it over the last 5 or 6 months even. And I remember making a video after I got the story down talking about how I'm not sure how the hell I'm going to make this film. I don't know how I'm going to make the props, I don't know how I'm going to film it, and I don't know how I'm going to edit it because there's visual effects I don't know how to do. There's an awful lot of stuff I didn't know how to do, I've never done before, and just everything. Yeah, I think the thing I was most nervous for was filming it because there was just so much to film. There were so many shots. I was very nervous. So yeah, I made the props and they actually went pretty well. I'd never really done anything like that. Here's the gun. My friend actually 3D printed this, and this scanner I made on Blender, and then he 3D printed that for me, and then I painted them. The gun and the scanner turned out pretty well. The other stuff, which if you watch the film you'll see, also turned out fine, but they look better on camera than they do in real life. If you know anything about this channel, it's probably that I'm just not great at making stuff. So yeah, then it was like time to film, and if you didn't know, this was for my college final piece, so my grades and everything were banking on this. I think I started filming maybe a month before it was due in, so I had a bit of time, but not as much time as I would have liked. Everything takes longer than you imagine it to. So originally I had 3 days. I was like, I'm gonna film all of this in 3 days. Anyway, we got there and the weather just was not on our side. And I remember lining up the first shot and I was just drenched. I was soaked. I was wearing like not the appropriate clothes to wear in hail, and I was so cold, I was so done already, and I was so stressed because I knew how much there was to do. There was no way I was going to do everything I wanted to do that day, and it just was not going to plan. All throughout the film there were so many times when I was just so stressed and I was so ready to give up, but I remember just being like, okay, I'm just going to do this next shot, then I'm going to do this next shot, and I just took it one shot at a time. I eventually got through it, and I looked at the footage on my laptop after so many days filming, so many more days than 3 days. It took way longer than I thought it would. I looked through the footage and I looked so bad. I was just like, what was I thinking? How can I make something look this bad? I really put high expectations on myself to make this a good looking film, when in reality there was no way I could do that because I was doing it by myself and there was just so much to do, and I just thought it would look really great and it didn't, and that really sucked. It really hurt me because I was like, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, and I'm not, that's for sure. It wasn't how it looked in my head. You know, I had a really distinct sort of style and atmosphere in my head, and I just wasn't able to capture that in this film, which sucked. So then it came to shoot the next scene. It was an indoors scene and I had my hard drive on my camera. It was coming down to one of the final shots and my hard drive just stopped working. It just broke. And I was like, that's weird. And I tried plugging it into my computer, nothing happened. I don't think I dropped it or like took it out without sort of ejecting it or anything like that, but sometimes hard drives just do that where they'll literally just break, and it's a nightmare, especially if you didn't back up any of your footage, because I didn't, and I'd lost everything. The whole like 2 weeks overall of filming was gone. All of the hard work we put in, it was the hardest thing I'd ever done. Like, no joke, it was grueling, and I just lost everything. Every single shot was lost. And it was literally about a week before my deadline. There was no way I could reshoot everything, so I sent an email to my tutors and they said, don't worry about it, you don't have to refilm it, we can just mark you on your written work. So I was like, okay, but I was still really upset that I'd lost the film because I'm super passionate about it and I want to tell this story, so I had to make a choice. Do I just scrap it and move on to the next film and let this film defeat me, or do I reshoot it and go through all of that shit again, that stress and everything again, just so I can make it for myself? And eventually I chose, I will reshoot it, I will do this, I will not be defeated by this film. And I did, and it was slightly easier the second time around. It was a better experience, it was just as stressful in places, but the problem with the first film is that I was never thinking about what I was shooting. I was always just stressed about the next shot and if it was going to rain and if I could get all these shots done in time time and stuff like that, but this time I knew what shots I needed. I had lower expectations in my head, and I was able to create better compositions and make each shot look better. So when I came to editing it, I was slightly more happy with it. The shots looked fine, but there were still things like a lot of the shots were overexposed. It again just didn't have that sort of atmosphere I wanted, and I think that really just comes down to it being the first time I filmed outside. I didn't really have control over the weather or the lighting, so that's just something I need to practice at and get better at, and hopefully I will with future films. I'll make sure I shoot outside more so I can get more used to that. Yeah, I finished it and I looked at it. I just wasn't happy with it. It wasn't how I imagined it would look. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, and there was lots of things wrong with it, and that is 100% because I bit off way more than I could chew. I need to make shorter films and make them look better. I need to make shorter stories and make them better, right? It's the only way I can improve instead of making this big long film and having it look shit. So there's lots of things wrong with it. First of all, there's fucking dirt on the camera, on the lens. There is dirt on the lens in so many shots. A lot of shots I managed to like paint it out, but there's still dirt on the lens, and that is totally my fault. I just like didn't even think that could happen. So when I looked at the footage, I was like, there's dirt on the lens. The visual effects also suck. The sky changes between shots. The ship looks so bad in so many shots. It looks good on one shot. So I reused it twice. So there was 2 times you see the ship on the floor. So that's a bit of a cheat, I guess. When the cuts appear on his arm, terrible. It looks awful. The visual effects just didn't go that well, and that's because I was teaching myself a lot of things. There was lots of visual effects which I knew nothing about beforehand. I had to teach myself a lot of stuff. I watched a lot of tutorials. So okay, it is my first time doing it. I wanted them to look better, that's all. I would say I am pleased with the planet shots at the beginning. I did those on Blender, and that was something I knew nothing about, and I watched a bunch of tutorials, and I think they actually turned out pretty cool. I'm pleased with them. So that gives me more confidence to do stuff like that in the future, but all in all, the visual effects failed. My dad's acting is amazing for an English teacher. I was so grateful for him that he'd do it, because I don't think any of my friends would have. So the fact that he did that, and he had to do it twice as well, he went through all of that and he did it all again. I'm so grateful for him for supporting me, because I don't think a lot of parents will do that. So I'm very lucky to have a dad like him, and a mum like my mum, who again went out twice and helped me. Very grateful to both of them for being amazing parents. Thank you very much. The music is superb. The soundtrack, if you didn't know, is original. It's an original soundtrack, but it's not done by me. It is done by my good friend Sanazar Webb, who makes music. Again, I'm sure he will make music for you if you need it. He is a very close friend of mine, and I was like, hey, I kind of want something like this, and he made it. He should be so proud of it, because it's such a great soundtrack, and I'm so happy to say that it's original and it's purely for this film, and you won't find it anywhere else. So go subscribe to him. Yeah, go subscribe. Woo! Support him, because he is a fantastic person. He actually didn't just do the music, he did all the sound. So I got my dad to record the voiceover, then I sent it to him, and then every single sound effect you hear, he like added. You know, he made my dad's voice sound like it was coming through like a recorded message. So yeah, he did a great job, and I'm so grateful for him, because I hate doing sound. It's the worst part of editing. I don't really enjoy editing. So overall, what my friends did and what my parents did was amazing. What I did, not so much. I wasn't happy with how the film looked, and I'm a bit sad about it, but it's something which I just have to take, and I have to move on, and I have to make sure my film looks better, because honestly, shooting this film, I learned so much from shooting it the first time, and I think I learned even more shooting it the second time. I'm just disappointed with the outcome of this film, so don't watch it. Not even a little bit, don't watch it. Hopefully though, my next film, which I'll be starting next week, will turn out a little more how I envision it. Use the knowledge I gained from making this film and try and execute it better for my next one. So yeah, like I said, I will be starting my next film next week, and I'll be making something, so look forward to that. Woo! That's it, guys. Like the video, comment how you are, what you guys doing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!